If you could change any choice you have ever made, would you? You can always make another choice and change the course of your success. Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of the Inspired Choices Show, business optimization expert, Christine McIver.
I get so excited because I know he's going to be saying my name. Whoops. I know he's going to be saying my name, so I get really, really excited. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm really happy that you are here because this show tonight, most especially, is all about you. Tonight, we're going to be talking about investing. And it's more than just investing with money. It's about investing with you. And I think this is such a great time to have this conversation as we prepare for a new year. But let me be really clear. You can be doing this at any time. You can hit the reset button at any time when you are ready to go into a new direction, when you're ready to truly invest in you. So before we get started, let me tell you a little bit about who I am. I am an optimization expert. I love to work with clients to bring them forward into the areas that light them up, that they want to grow their businesses in, where they want to really grow who they are and what they want to create in the world. I love to work with entrepreneurs who are ready to say, you know what, enough. I am going to move forward in the direction of my desires, and I'm not going to allow anything to hold me back. Those are the people that are ready to step up. And if that's you, and you would like to know more about doing that in your life or in your business, please message me, Christine at inspiredchoices.ca, and we can talk, we can connect, and we can talk about what it is that you're desiring, what's possibly been holding you back that you're aware of, and how we can begin to really bring that out, switch it around, turn it on its head, and create what it is that you desire. Because you know what? You came here to have what you desire. There's so many brilliant tools out there. We can do this, and together we can actually have pleasure doing it. So tonight's show is called Investing Starts with an I. With I. It's all about the I's tonight, my friends. So creating a prosperous future requires you to begin investing, but your future requires much more than just a financial investment. And honestly, it is much more than that. While monetary considerations are an essential part of your future, investing in you is also absolutely critical. So, in this episode, you're going to learn about the I in investing and what it truly means for you and your future so that you can step out into the world investing in an entirely new way, the way that you were meant to begin. You know, there's so much that sometimes when I'm getting prepared for my show, there's so much that starts to flood in that I want to say. So hold on to your hat. We may be going in a lot of directions, or we may be sitting in a lot of questions. So ask yourself, first of all, what does the word investing mean to me? What does the word investing mean to me? And while we will have a dictionary definition, each person has their own definition of words. So it's important to ask yourself these questions, especially when you're going to be diving deep into an area, into a topic. So I want to read for you the one of the original definitions, the online etymology of the word investment. So it's the act of putting on vestments, the act of being invested with an office, a right, or an endowment, surrounding and besieging of a military target. Holy moly, that is wild, because to me, that is nothing like the word, the definition of the word that we understand it today in the 21st century. Commercial sense of an investing of money and capital is from the 1600s, originally in reference to the East Indian Company. General use is from the 1740s in the sense of conversion of money to property in hopes of profit, an amount invested. So we've got some interesting terminologies there. First, we've got where it's talking about the military, it's talking about all sorts of other aspects of investing. It sounds to me like there was also religion tendencies with that word, vestments. But what we know today, what we know is that the original energy of a word, when it's created, it's still present. And the current definition of the word investment is about, investing in property to return a profit. So if we use the word investment when it comes to you, because you are the I in investment, and without you, there would be no investment, there would be no profit, there would be nothing to do. You are required. And when I say this, I'm not just saying like a human has to do this. You are required in your investments in order for them to actualize. And many people, especially a lot of people in business, people that I connect with, have conversations with, clients and customers that I speak with, many people are running around trying to propel themselves forward into prosperity. They're running and grabbing and hoping and praying, and it's actually the energy of chasing. That's the energy of chasing, and a lot of people are out here chasing, and a lot of what we see online, especially in the marketing world, in social media, through our emails, through our instant messaging, is a lot of chasing and pushing. Chasing and pushing energy. There's no investing in there. Now, the people that are pushing their businesses at us, they are investing time and energy to try to get us to say yes to whatever it is that they're doing. And instead of investing time to cultivate a relationship, to build the trust, and to open up a conversation that grows over time, so that when the opportunity becomes available for what we're doing that matches what they offer, then it's a very easy no-brainer for us to say yes to them. Unfortunately, we've been taught in this world to push, 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 push. If you want more, you got to push more. And pushing at other people actually has other people run, right? So that's where the chase is. You end up, so many people end up chasing other people because we're trying to make a profit for our business. And, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been in this particular business for 15 years. And I was in business, worked in the corporate world. I've had my own business prior to this one. I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, whether you are trying to get new customers, whether you're trying to get new employees, whatever you are trying to add to your business, when you are pushing, they are going to run. And then the chase is on. That rarely ends in a positive space. What I have seen so many times is organizations are chasing, let's say when they're hiring. I was in human resources for more than 20 years. And when an organization wants somebody and they're headhunting them, right? They're chasing them. They see what they want to see. They see the quote unquote positive of that individual, and they're hungry to have that person as part of their business. The fact of the matter is what that does energetically is it cuts off your awareness around what else might be going on with that individual. And oftentimes it ends up being a poor hire. In other words, it's not a great match because we're not fully present with what is happening. The same is true when you are creating in your own business. If you are not present in your business, if you are operating from fear, then you're in the past and you're constantly looking at the past and worrying that it's going to show up in your present. Or if you're looking at your future, continuously hungry and searching for, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And you're not present in your day, in your business, with your body, with your team members, with your economics, then you are going to miss out on opportunities and you're going to miss out on your own awareness. So, the very first I that I want you to think about is investing in you, investing the time each and every day in you. A really huge part of the investment game with you is checking in on what's true for you. So, if you are working in an organization, if you are operating your business in a way that in either of those situations you're unhappy or frustrated, what is that going to produce? Right? We know, like, for instance, I have a glass of water here, and we know that Dr. Emoto would put words on a glass or he would speak those words out loud to the water. And the result of that was a cell that was either absolutely beautiful or looked incredibly distorted. So a word like saying, like looking at your water and saying, I love you and I'm grateful for you. Thank you. You are infusing those energies into that water. But if you're saying negative things to that water and then you ingest that, that's what you're investing in you. So I want you to think about, what are you choosing? What are you adding into your day, into your present day, that is either investing in you, which will give you a positive return on your investment, or is actually destroying the essence of who you are? Words matter. Thoughts matter, emotions matter. I talk about this every single solitary week. That's never, ever going to change. That the investment that you put into yourself and into your business prior to financially investing in the stock market or any kind of monetary investment is going to make all the difference in the world. When we are operating from a space of not considering ourselves, not taking ourselves into the equation of what's most important in our day, when we are not listening to ourselves, when we're not hearing ourselves. You know, I hear a lot of people talk. I'm in the listening business oftentimes with my hosts and with clients and prospective clients. And when we're running summits, I am listening to what people are saying. And very subtly, they will say things that criticize themselves, things that they think negatively about themselves. And when we have those threads of negativity and judgment coursing through our veins, it starts to course through our bank account. It starts to course through our businesses. And we turn around one day and don't understand why the finances are so difficult to manage, why we don't have the cash flow that we desire, why we are struggling emotionally with our businesses. The biggest thing that I see is people are pushing. They're pushing to get the results that they want instead of being present and investing in who they are in every moment of every day. Now, it takes work, it takes commitment, but it's very much worth it. And that's where I want to go in tonight's show. So, we are going to have a break at this present time. When we get back, I want to continue to talk about how you can invest in you and some of the things that we need to be looking out for when we think that we are investing in ourselves so that we can invest in our business and have financial rewards. So stick around. I'm your host, Christine McIver on the Inspired Choices Show, and we're on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
All right, we are back online. That was a very short break, and now we can jump right back into the conversation. So, thank you for being here. If you've just joined, we're talking about investing, and investing, how it starts with you. Investing starts with I. The word investing starts with I, but the process of investing starts with you. And that's a very important thing for each and every one of us to understand. Now, if you missed the first segment, we talked about how we can reset the button on at any time when we want to go in a new direction and start investing in ourselves. And how when we are investing in our business, we don't want to be in the chase game. There's so many people out there in the chase game. They're pushing, and they're chasing customers. And when you chase something, it runs away. So understanding how you can invest time and energy into yourself, and that actually will lead to you learning how to invest time and energy into your clients and into your business. You know, I have a lot of different organizations will reach out to me and they will say things that sound very enticing, like, would you like to make, twice as much as you made last year? Would you like to make 5 times the amount you made last year? Would you like to have hundreds of thousands of people on YouTube? And they're saying all these things, and then they're saying, oh, we can show you how to do this, we can do that, and we can do this. And it all has the energy of, like, the words are like, hey, we've got a secret and we can share it with you. But the energy is, we know better, push, we know better. And I've had some so interesting conversations, sharing with my colleagues different messages that I receive, whether it's emails or instant messages in different social media platforms. And people have no idea who they're talking to. They have no idea who they are actually trying to get business from. Because they're not willing to invest in a relationship. They're not willing to cultivate a relationship. That's not the way I do business. That is absolutely not the way I do business. And yes, Michaela says, oh yes, love those freaking messages. God. Yeah, they're insane. They're just crazy. And I actually had a company, 2 people from the same company send me the exact same message. And when I said to the second person, wow, I just received the exact same message from your colleague, so-and-so, And she turned around and said, "Oh, did you book time with him?" I'm just like, "Oh my gosh." Like, take no accountability. Don't, let's just ignore the pink elephant in the middle of the room. That's not the way I do business, and that's not the way I teach my customers to do business. I want to cultivate a relationship with my customers and with my clients so that when I share my knowledge with them, they appreciate that I'm taking the time to do so. When I create something that I believe will be an asset for them, I want them to engage because I spend a great deal of time investing in learning and growing. And when I share that with my customers and my clients, I don't want them to have to sit over there and really, try to evaluate, is Christine trying to get more money from us? Like, what should I really trust her? I want to ensure that they have the confidence when they work with myself and my team that we truly love what we do. And when we share something new, we're sharing it because we want to see them succeed. And that type of a relationship takes time to cultivate. Now, it does not take years to cultivate a relationship like that. But you can cultivate relationships to this degree in a decent amount of time, but you've got to have your, as my mom used to say, your P's and Q's lined up. You need to truly have your values lined up and your belief systems lined up in a way that reads true. When you are cultivating that type of a relationship, you're not just investing in your business. You're investing in that person and their desires, whether it's business, like I work with people in their businesses. So I'm investing in their business as well. But if you are somebody that works personally with individuals, you're investing in their lives. You're investing possibly in their relationships. Maybe you're investing in their parenting. So when you're taking that time to build that relationship, the investment, it goes out to everyone included in the relationship. So when you take that time, when I'm taking that time with my clients, I'm investing in the relationship. Sorry, I'm investing in their business. I'm investing in them. I'm also investing in their clients' futures because as I support and assist my clients to learn and grow, they will then pass that on. And what does that do? That invests not only in my future, but the future of all the people that are receiving from that initial investment. I'm creating a world where we're investing and we're creating something different that we all desire to have: happiness, peace, prosperity, new ideas, new discoveries, new ways of doing things. Taking the time to really invest in you has such a domino effect that you won't even understand the depth and the breadth of that investment. Now, if you're someone who just feels like, I don't have the time, Christine, to do all of this, I need to pay my bills, I'm still going to challenge you because what the mind that got you into a place where possibly you're struggling financially, that mindset is not going to change your circumstances. It's just not, because it's the exact same mindset you had that got you there. You've heard this before. If you want change in your life, you have to be willing to choose it. You have to be willing to be aware of what's required. One of the greatest investments that I've ever made in my life is investing in a coach. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a coach, but I was lit up from the contributions a coach made in my world. And that is why coaching became such an important aspect of my life and my business. I saw the significant changes that started to occur for me and how quickly those changes began to take effect. And now, years later, when I work with coaches, I oftentimes am working with coaches for a specific reason. And when I work with them, we are both investing in what I desire to have take place in that area of my business or my personal life. So that investment that I'm making in myself changes so drastically and has significantly changed how my business is operating and how it is positively growing. And the cash flow along with that is also growing. If part of the reason you don't have money, and this might be hard to hear, it's because you don't have your own back. You don't have your own back, because if you truly had your own back, you would be doing whatever it takes to change your mindset so you can make different choices. Now, I sit here and people might be, that might be really ticking somebody off, but I've been in that place where I didn't have money to live, where I had to rely on the love and kindness of other people. And when I got into that situation, I had to change the way I was looking at things. I had to change my thought process. I needed to see things and own up to the choices that I was making that was getting me into that place. And the other thing that you really have to do is you have to invest time into really looking at your beliefs. Your beliefs. You know, a belief is just a thought you keep thinking. Some of the beliefs that I discovered about myself was I didn't feel I was worthy. That was a deep, deep seated belief that I've been carrying around with myself for, many years, 40 plus years before I started to look at this. When you don't believe that you're worthy of something, you are vibrating at that energy, and your choices are going to show that that's what's going on within you. Now, when you're in it and your head down and you're just, your tunnel vision and you're just trying so hard, and I'm not saying that people aren't trying hard. I was trying hard. I was working like crazy, but these beliefs were holding back the changes. We have got to invest time in taking care of the person you are, who you are, and what is going on within you. You've got to invest the time into uncovering your belief systems. You have many of them. You have many, many beliefs, and many of the beliefs that we pick up are from our community and from our family from when we're very young, and we don't even realize it's a belief. We truly think that that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. That's the reality. That's the truth. No, that's the reality you're choosing. And if we were to have different communities come together and discuss this, you would be able to see this very clearly. But most of the spaces that you are operating from your beliefs. So you've got to be willing to look at your beliefs. Another really big belief that I had, and it was these two conflicting beliefs, is I had a belief that things were really hard. It was tough to make money, and that you had to work really, really hard around the clock, and you had to squeeze every penny, squeeze every penny. And then the conflicting or opposite belief was that you needed to invest. You needed to put your money in things that were going to give you a positive return. You needed to know, I believed that there was an endless amount of money in the world. Now, I had these conflicting beliefs, and they would play back and forth in my life. And when I really sat down and started to ask myself, what did I believe about money? And I just sat with a blank piece of paper. What do I believe about money? And I kept writing and writing and writing. These two prominent beliefs came up. And when I looked back on my life and I looked at the different times in my life where things were prosperous, or I looked at the times where things were challenging, I could see that those beliefs were a core in my life, that I allowed that belief to rise up and I bought it. I bought that belief and I allowed that belief to run me. Now, if we can just choose a belief and operate from it, why wouldn't we choose a belief that would create greater ease in our lives? Well, we'll talk about that one after the break. You're listening to Inspired Choices. I'm your host, Christine McIver, here on the Inspired Choices Network. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Yes, we are back to the program tonight, my friends. We're talking about investing and how the most important aspect of investing is you. Investing starts with I, and investing in you is the most important part of that equation. I've really been diving deep into how important this is and how your beliefs are shaping a great deal of that. What I want you to know is that when you are not putting yourself first, you are buying into beliefs that other things are more important. Now, this can be from any area of your life. At this time of year, a lot of people are talking about losing weight and starting out the new year, going to the gym, and that's great. Honestly, that's great. Not everybody sticks with it, but you know what? The fact that people are choosing and trying, that's a great thing. But you don't have to wait to January 1st. You can start anew with anything that you desire. You can start anew every day. I love starting new things on a Monday. I love Mondays. They really get me lit up. They really get me going. They really supercharge me. And that may not be for you, but you need to find out what supercharges you so that you can make choices that are going to actually contribute to you. So the whole aspect of changing the way that we're perhaps eating, changing the way that we're moving our bodies, that is making ourselves a priority, right? That is investing in us. We're investing time, we're investing money, we're investing learning in all of those aspects. But what is driving that choice? What is driving your choices is what is really going to have you continually invest in you, or have you stop? Now, I may shock a few people, but I used to smoke, and I didn't smoke a lot. It was really a stress reliever. That's why I smoked. I didn't smoke for that many years, and I only smoked about 3 or 4 cigarettes a day, but it didn't matter. It was something that I was choosing, and it was having a negative effect on my body, and it was having a negative effect on my health and my relationships. Now, I stopped smoking. I quit smoking quote unquote, quit smoking many times until I stopped. Now, the difference on that was I started to invest more time in learning about myself and about what changing that habit really required. And when I started to look at it from the aspect of it's not important what other people think, it's not important whether people know or not. What's the most important for me, truly, at my core, is my health. And when I started to come at it from that direction and really investing time even into delving into that belief system, that started to change how I invested my time and money around stopping smoking once and for all. That same philosophy can be with anything in your life or in your business. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why? What have you decided has to happen before you invest in you? What has to happen? See, what I've learned over time is we will actually end up dropping to our knees a lot of the time until we really make ourselves a priority and we really step back and invest that time, investing time in discovering why we're triggered by certain things, investing time in learning about who we are and our design, how we are designed. Michaela Gaffin-Stone is somebody that's in the chat room. She's a host here on the Inspired Choices Network, and she's a human design expert. Investing time with Michaela helps you to understand yourself, helps you to understand who you are and some of the things that you can be choosing, which will bring you more ease in your life, more glory in your life. That's an investment. That's an investment in you. Yes, you would be hiring Michaela or someone else in this instance regarding human design. Michaela's great, so consider that. But yes, you would be investing money, but the true investment is in you. The true investment is in your future. One of the greatest things I ever learned about myself, I learned from having a conversation about who I am in regards to my human design. And that started to shift things for me so dramatically. I went from someone who was trying to climb that ladder, and working, and trying to put things out in the world to have people say yes, to actually stepping back and waiting and allowing myself to learn how to follow the energy and when to actually pull the cord on the go button when it came to creating. Today, I have so many creations with the Inspired Choices Network. We have hosts here on the network that we work with. So if you're somebody that's looking to become an authority in the world, we can work with you to bring your message to the world. We work with entrepreneurs in actually hosting online summits. We have a whole summit production that we do. It's really summit in a box. It's quite simple and easy to operate your own summit. We also have publishing. We're publishing books now. We're doing so many different things. It's so exciting. But none of that would have come to this space of ease and joy had I been pushing. I really had to sit back and sit with things and allow them to marinate and allow them to take root before it was my time to step in and support their growth. That was an investment. And it was also an investment in time for me to learn more about myself and to learn what really would work for me. Investing that time in me has had me be able to build a company that's growing, that's contributing, that is making a difference in other people's lives and businesses. That is so frigging exciting, but none of it would be here if I hadn't learned to slow down and look at myself, look at my belief systems, and spend the time and the money investing in myself. Without you, without the I, there is no investment. There is no investment. Without you truly there, present in your lives and in your business, taking care of yourself, investing time in sleeping, investing time in knowledge growth, investing time in cultivating relationships, there will be no finances for you to be able to invest, because you're going to burn out. You might get sick. You might push people away because you're going to be operating from lack, and you'll be one of those pushers out in the world chasing, where people are like, I don't want to talk to this person. I don't want to have anything to do with them. You know who I'm talking about. They're all out there. And my heart goes out to them. I know exactly what's going on, but they're not ready yet to hear this message. I hope you are. I hope you're willing to really do the work, invest the time and energy in learning about yourself so that you can change what is going on in your lives, in your business, and definitely in your bank account. If you're not taking care of yourself, you cannot make an investment, because you are the investment. You're the investment. Investing in you, taking the time is the biggest piece of creating an investment. It doesn't matter if you have $100,000 in the bank and you don't invest the time to learn about investing, if you don't have the time to set up systems where you are watching your money, and you're not taking that time to invest in hiring someone and watching what they're doing, if you are not taking the time to grow who you are and your knowledge base, that $100,000 can be gone in an instant. In an instant. But instead of taking the time, many people are just doing push. Faster, push. And I'm like, no, slow down. Let's look at what's going on. Let's look at what's been driving you. Maybe you have issues with personal relationships. If you are over 10, you've probably had that same issue repeat in your life. Let's look at that. Let's really start to unpack that. You know, many of us have experienced trauma in our lives in one way or another. This is not about looking to blame someone. This is looking for the clues of what's holding us back so that we can empower ourselves to change this, so we can begin to create who we are, our lives and our businesses, from that space of our desire. That's available to you. It's 100% available to you. Why wouldn't it be available to you? If you heard yourself say, because it's never happened before, or I'm just not lucky like that, or, whatever negative thing, tell that friggin' voice to bugger off. That is no way that is you. Because if you are honestly desiring to invest in yourself, honestly desiring to have something different, then I'm sure that you are someone with a tender heart that really is looking for support. And one of the biggest places to look is looking to yourself, looking into what you're saying to yourself, even when you joke around. Sometimes it can be a bit of a pain when you're talking to a coach. And sometimes my clients get a little frustrated with me because I'm pointing things out to them again and again and again. But that's my job. That's my job, to show them what's buried right in front of their eyes that they're not seeing or hearing, so that we can create something completely different for them. Michaela says, agreed. I have just been loading naps and walks on my calendar because I become exhausted in the afternoons. I need to do afternoons differently. Congratulations. Acknowledge what you require. You will have more energy, Michaela. I'm absolutely positive, and more clarity. There are plenty of times that I am working, starting to work at 9 in the morning, and then I might be here some nights until 11 o'clock at night, depending on our production, depending on what's going on. So I definitely carve out a time to have a rest in the afternoon. Taking care of my body takes care of my mind, that takes care of my business. Invest the time in you and let go of what anyone else thinks about you or your choices. This isn't their journey. This is your journey. And you can do this. You can do it differently. But it does start with a choice. All right, we are up to our final break. Do stick around. We will be back and we will wrap today's show up. I'm your host, Christine McIver, on the Inspired Choices Show here on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Oh boy, these shows go quickly. At least it does for us hosts. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for saying yes to you and learning more about investing in the you, in the I, or in the you, whichever way you want to look at it. Thank you. As you choose differently, the world starts to change. Together, we can change a great deal when we are paying attention to our thoughts, to our beliefs, and then, of course, to our choices and actions. I was speaking to a client recently, and this individual was struggling. They were struggling and said, I did so much better in the past. 5 or 6 years ago, I was making more money. 5 or 6 years ago, this and this and this was going on, and this is how I was experiencing life. And I was so much happier back then. And this particular client has been making different choices, choosing to go in a different direction in the person's life and in the person's business. The person was employed previously and came to a point where there was a great deal of dissatisfaction. Who's been there? I have. I know the two ladies that are in the chat room have, for sure. Many of us who are self-employed, we got to a point in our jobs where we were dissatisfied, and it could be for lots of different reasons. The culture changed, the disrespect, the not listening to our ideas, feeling like we were just a robot, really just doing certain tasks we were engaged to do and not allowing our creative flags to fly. And so those are just some of the reasons that, we choose to be self-employed. And when we're doing that, and this is what I was speaking to this client about, I said, you have changed things a great deal and you're choosing to move forward because of these other reasons that did not match up with where you were at, with what really made you happy in your day-to-day operations. And yeah, that was acknowledged. And then I said, and when you go through a change like this, you're up leveling yourself. But the really important thing, and for you newbies out there in your own business, the really important thing to acknowledge is that as you step into having your own business and you step into the big growth that's going to happen, where you're going to learn how to communicate with customers, you're going to learn how to price your products or your services, or you're going to learn how to do social media, or you're going to learn how to put your SOPs together, where you're going to learn how to do your invoicing and your accounting. There's so many pieces, there's so many aspects to being in your own business. Well, what's going to happen is you're probably going to come down off of that excited mountain and you're going to start to dip and feel quite overwhelmed and maybe even quite frustrated. Well, that dip is you learning to grow yet again. And so when you are going through changes, when you are choosing something greater in your life, it's often going to be like, you're going up and down mountains, right? You're going up and down mountains because you're growing and learning. And what is really important to allow yourself to do is to release the fear. Release the fear, release the worry, because fear and worry changes absolutely nothing. If you are stuck, if you are handcuffed to your fears and your worries, you are not going to be able to shift forward and change the way that your business is operating, the way that your finances are flowing. You're not, because you are handcuffed to fear and worry. It really keeps you locked in a negative pattern when you allow fear and worry to drive the bus. And guys, I am not saying that having lack of money is not going to put you into fear and worry, but when you allow that to drive your day to day, you're not present, you're missing opportunities, you can start to become ill, physically ill because of it, both physically and mentally ill, and it does not change anything. Fear and worry never, ever, 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 ever created something positive. Ever. I used to tease my mom. My mom would, oh my gosh, I miss my mom. My mom would say, she was the one that always worried about money. And she had a lot of mouths to feed. So I understand what that was and the generation that she grew up in. But she used to say, you need to pinch every penny, there's a recession. And I would tease her and say, Mom, was there a bonfire? And she would be like, What, Christine, what? And I'd say, Was there a bonfire last night? What are you talking about? Did somebody get all the money in the world and put it into a bonfire? Oh my God. I would say, Look, there's no less money in the world today than there was yesterday. Let's get real about what is going on with money. Let's get real about the finances in the world and the impact that you can change in your own life when you get really clear about that and you invest time and money in learning, not from the space of worry and panic, but from the space of facts. And facts have no emotion to them, just so you know. If you think you've got a fact in front of you, just check to see if there's an emotion attached. That's one way to show you. So, my friends, we're coming up to the end of the show. I'm so grateful that you were here. And I do really hope that this show contributed to you in a way that has you step back and think about how important you are and how important the investment of your time and your energy is in creating a different world for yourself and for those around us. Until next week, my friends, I want you to remember that you can always make another choice. You can always start again. Until next week, take good care, my friends. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, be willing to choose what you really desire. This is your life, making the choices that bring you all that you desire.